Dearly beloved. That's a wonderful phrase, isn't it? When you hear the phrase dearly beloved, well, then you probably think of a priest standing in front of a congregation, speaking to his assembly of believers. And that's what I'm saying to you today. But this message is much more than religious, is actually beyond religion, because I believe that religion is just an interpretation of God. There's people who haven't had near-death experiences, and they come back with the knowledge that the universe, the divine universe, which we are a part of, say that in heaven there is no religion. We interpret God through religion. We have to remember that the universe is a huge place. The universe has many, many planets and many, many civilizations. Alone in the Milky Way, there are 100 billion stars, and there are 100 billion galaxies. So, of course, there are civilizations. And knowing that there are, that there is an enormous amount of energy in the universe, and that everything is energy and electricity, we then have to remember that everybody feels this. If you're an alien, if you're a human, if you're an animal, we all feel where we are from. It's like we know where we are from. And we can only go into this knowledge by walking in the light. It's like we are walking in a room that's lit up. And if there is no light, we can light a match. We all know that one lit match can actually light up a whole arena. So light is the original power of the universe. And one quantum physicist, a theoretical physicist, he said that he has no problem with eternity. He has a problem with a finite universe. And they're actually discovering now that there are galaxies older than the Big Bang, which is sort of questioning the Big Bang theory, because they're saying that what really what might be true is the Big Crunch or the Big Bounce, that the universe draws itself together and expands, just like a breathing person would. Now, we might be cells in God's body. So you and I, you listening to this, and I, we are cells in God's body. And as we know, our own cells are intelligent. They function as individual beings, but they are still part of the whole picture of you, the whole picture of me. So actually, we are part of God's body. If God was a body, then we would be small parts of God. So, of course, the Maker, the Creator, hears you when you pray to Him. And this is also something we have to remember. And that is the key for this very conversation that I'm having today. And of course, the title that you're hearing or that you're reading in the YouTube video is Adversaries. How do you deal with adversaries spiritually? And that has very much to do with light and love. I sat with my father-in-law a couple of days ago and saw a movie in a wild country. It's a German movie that's actually a German Western. And it's about German military people that go to America and claim the land of the Comanches and give it away give land away that is not theirs. And there's a woman that is taken in custody or as a hostage by the Comanches, by the Native Americans. But she falls in love with one of the Indians, of one of the Native American people that take her in as a hostage. And that whole movie presents the question of what is right, what is wrong. Do we have the right to claim land that is not our own? Because land belongs to everyone. And that is the old Native American philosophy, that land belongs to everyone. And this is an important message. And what I really understood in the while watching this movie is that no one is exempt from pain. We all have pain. We all have spiritual pain. And if we can look at each other in that respect, that if we're rich, if we're poor, if we're old, if we're young, we all feel some sort of spiritual pain. When people insult us, we feel pain. When people are respectless, we feel pain. This wonderful story about Tony Hale, the big star of The Sopranos, one of those fantastic series that everyone loves from Hollywood. He set himself a goal as a young man. He said by the age he was 35, he wanted to have his $1 million house, his 5 things, his top model wife, his own sitcom. He wanted to be loved by millions of people, and he wanted to have his famous Lamborghini. He got all those things. And then he was in Hollywood, and he got really depressed because he said nothing had really changed. Okay, he was a famous person, but the press was talking negatively about him, and he had very little private life, and people were making up stuff about him. He had, problems with his managers. And what came out into the ether, into the public, was a public persona, not necessarily a private persona. And this is the thing that Elvis had. Elvis was one person inside. He was an introvert thinker. He was a melancholy. Elvis was a melancholy thinker. He didn't really. He was in his soul. He was not the guy that's, he had public persona with his creativity, and he was a grand performer. But he was privately, he was just like Freddie Mercury and Michael Jackson. He was very melancholy and a thinking man. And he told one of his friends very close to his death, if people want to know me, they have to know my spiritual beliefs. They have to know that I'm a very spiritual person, and then they'll know the real Elvis. And having said that, many people have reached the top of their profession only to realize that it has nothing to do with the soul. A lot of people think, well, when I become famous, that, will just change everything. Marie Antoinette was one of those people that was totally misunderstood, because there were all the things, or most of the stuff that we've read in history books, are lies. She didn't say, let them eat cake, for instance. She never said that. That was a quote from a book by Jean-Jacques Rousseau. And people made up these things. She was a hated Austrian in the arch rival of France. She married an impotent king, and she was blamed for not having children, because the arch rival Austria sent them a queen, and she was hated in Versailles. And she had absolutely no control. And it turned into a huge problem. Um, and she was never happy. And she ripped up her corset and um, and moved to Petit Trianon, where she met people and communed with people like Axel von Fersen, which were like really, really good friends. So it was a refuge. Um, we look at people like Princess Diana, or the Empress Elizabeth, um, and we see that famous people don't necessarily are not necessarily happier, because and this is the great mistake of um, of society. Because if we know that everything is energy, we know that love is the greatest energy on earth. So it doesn't really matter if we have money or great houses, because it doesn't fulfill our innate need for love. And here's the point. If we are able to see that everyone is in pain, then if even if you look at a murderer like Jack the Ripper, you have a murderer that um, probably, most probably, um, had extremely difficult situations where he felt disrespected, where women probably in his life ridiculed him. He was an outsider. He maybe had no girlfriend. He was really, really, really in spiritual pain because he felt that nobody respected him, and he saw society as a fake, as a big fake. And everyone he knew had hated him, and so this rage catapulted out into this rage that he had. It doesn't make it right what he did, but if we can look at society as this little vehicle that we're riding, but it has nothing to do with our souls. If we realize that everybody is in pain, everybody has love and pain, pain and pleasure. Everybody has that in them, and it's nothing. Um, Nobody is evil by intent or by origin. If we can see each other's pain, um, you know, uh, if the settlers in America had come to the Comanches or to the Native Americans with a sense of being people or being souls that need to understand each other, that we're both in pain, that neither the rich person or the poor person are exempt from feeling insecure. We all cry. We all laugh. We all have feelings. We are not our bodies. This is a very important thing to remember. Um, that I've experienced. I've seen really beautiful people, gorgeous people. Beautiful, beautiful women that you would say when you see them, you would say they would have to be the most incredibly self-confident people on earth, but who have enormous issues with self-confidence. They don't think they're beautiful, um, and they hide their insecurity by acting extravagant. Um, so this is my message to you, dearly beloved, today, to um, try to look at the world in a different way. Notice anyone, politician, anyone, hides their pain with a kind of a mask. The expectations. People have expectations of you. People have expectations of everyone. And sometimes people expect you to be in a certain way, or you think that they expect you to be in a certain way. Um, and maybe you think that other people are expecting it, but maybe you can start by looking at people in that way, that you see that even if a person acts like a stupid person or respectless, you know he's probably just hiding it because he's hiding it between this macho attitude. If you see a huge, group of people that are like a macho gang guys, they're all really, really tough together. But take them really, really um, as individuals. If you communicate with that person, not as a group, but as an individual, then you will actually find that that person is very insecure and they've learned these behaviors. Um, and what we're dealing with, sometimes people um, are born to confront people who are different. They marry people who are from a different family, or they work with people that are completely different. And the universe has made sure to see um, that they try to build bridges. So I feel we are bridge builders. So, but maybe in the future, before you complain about somebody's behavior, um, see what you can do by inspiring different behavior, or how you can protect yourself from being um, the victim of this behavior, or um, protecting yourself to not make yourself a victim. And there we have this beautiful thing with um, no reaction is the best reaction. You don't have to answer everything what other people say. You don't always have to answer um, an insult. Take someone that is trying to provoke you and insults you. It's your decision if you want to just like um, let that hang in the air, and that's your decision. Because he has just handed you a ball, you know, like a ball of shit, really. And you know, if you don't take that thing that he gave you, he'll have to take it back. So he's stuck with this thing that he gave you, which gives you great power. So you can decide what it is how you react. You don't need to take it seriously. And a wonderful, wonderful medium once said that act as if nothing bothers you. You have the power. And at the same time, wonderful thing is, if you are able to be strong enough to see the pain behind bad behavior. Sometimes people who act like in narcissistic ways, they're just hiding, or big macho attitudes, big badass macho attitudes. These people are hiding a huge, huge amount of insecurity. Yeah. And this wonderful song by the German band Die Ärzte, where he talks about these gang members that go down on people and look so badass. All they're doing, they're hiding these. They're like little children that are really, really, really hurt. So do take care of yourself. In everything that you do, take care of yourself and trust the universe. No matter how much pain you're carrying inside you, you have angels, and these angels are always take care of you. Trust and faith are the greatest and most valuable assets in the entire universe. No matter what thoughts, what feelings, what fears you have, by simply saying, I trust you, universe, I trust you, God, I know that everything's going to be fine. I know that you take care of me, of my family, of everything. I know that everything's going to be fine. By doing that, you light a match that will light up your arena. Because light is the original power of the universe.